And sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty.
Why can't keeping it real be classy? Okay. Why can't keeping it real be let me hold my peace and let me move on? Why can't keeping it real be, you know what? They may have done that, but I'm going to respect them and move forward. Why can't that be keeping it real?
Right. Hey everybody, my name is Tracy, owner and founder of Trace Your Life Coaching. If you yearn to live powerfully, purposely, and prosperously, I can help you. I've been transformed and aligned with my purpose and will be honored to help you align with yours. I help those who yearn to love their life, free from fear and the restrictions of others. I coach privately or in group sessions, in person or remotely. You can find me on Facebook at Trace Zen, my website traceyourlife.com, or give me a call at 480-788-8735 to book your session.
Ooh. Did I scare y'all?
No.
Dang it. That was my goal. No one even jumped. Sad story.
It only was loud in your ears.
Oh, I should have screamed louder. Whatevs, lady. All right. Welcome to episode 9 of season 2 of Sitting Pretty and Keeping It. Actually, rewind. Welcome to episode 8, season 2 of Sitting Pretty and Keeping It what?
Real.
Yeah.
Really real.
Y'all ain't even gonna hear that part in the beginning because I'm definitely gonna cut that out. I was having like a mental battle in my mind trying to figure out like what actual episode it was.
You have to play it now because they're gonna wonder what you're talking about.
Play what? Whatever. Anyways, tonight we have a guest with us sitting at the table, Mr. Qosmic Qadence, who is a poet, author, a young educator, a man of many hats, might I say. Might I add. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Qosmic Qadence, like she said, man of many hats. Means I got a big ass head. Wait, could I cuss?
You can cuss.
Y'all keep it real. I can cuss.
Yeah,
That
you keep it real. Oh yeah, we cuss.
Okay, cool.
So,
yeah. I do a few different things with my magic. It's kind of having fun, spreading it around. However, I can be a positive force, positive influence. I'm all about it. So.
Okay, cool.
There we go. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No
The martini. What is this? A martini?
Yes, it is.
The
You like
martini
it?
is great.
Oh, great. We got more where that came from. I made those.
Well, as he just said, the martinis are great. On the menu tonight, we have raspberry martinis garnished with freshly picked raspberries.
Yeah, right.
My
Raspberries. From your garden, too? Oh, wow. Wait, let me eat one.
What garden, Shan?
From Kroger.
Oh, wow. That tastes like a Kroger. It's from Kroger.
I don't have a garden.
Oh,
That
man.
tastes like it was from Kroger.
All right, so we have raspberry martinis. I bet you guys wish you could be here to taste.
They're really good.
They really are. I've already
The
had
martinis
like,
are bomb.
Yes.
I don't even drink martinis. First
Oh,
martini
you don't?
I ever had.
Really?
It's the first one I ever had.
Oh, I feel special then.
Cheers. Clap it up.
Cheers. Are we going to introduce ourselves before you get going?
Oh, yeah.
You keep forgetting about us. Just because we're the ones here, you keep forgetting about us every time.
I'm sorry, ladies. Go ahead
The
and
ladies
tell
who need
us.
no introduction.
Exactly. It's T to the E. It's Kimmy Wild Pretty's at.
And it's Nikkei. I even forgot to introduce myself, to be honest with you, so you shouldn't even be mad. You shouldn't even be
slipping.
salty. No, you slipping.
No, you're slipping.
Okay. All right. As I said before, we have raspberry martinis on the menu. And since Mr. Qosmic Qadence is eating as clean as possible...
This is ridiculous.
On a on a case-by-case basis.
On a case.
Okay, but real quick, so you were a virgin to a martini until just now, right?
Yeah, it was a martini version.
Oh.
Got broken.
I don't want to. We popped that cherry. No, we popped that
raspberry. Y'all popped my raspberry.
It got popped.
That's pretty dope. That's gonna be our running insider.
Yeah, there you go.
We popped your raspberry. You know, shout out to the ladies from Sitting Pretty podcast.
Yeah.
I'm about to put that on my Instagram right now. They popped my raspberry. I'm about to say, the face you make when you get your raspberry.
Oh, that's
popped.
a nice. Yes,
That's
a
a
real
good
good
one.
one. I like
That's
that.
There you go.
That's a real good one.
That's
See,
hilarious.
we're on to something.
As well as raspberries, we have mini and large tostadas on the menu tonight.
No, there are mini tostados, and then we have mini taco salads. Those are like taco salads.
Those look like tostadas.
Well,
So, I'm corrected. We have mini taco salads and mini tostadas
Correct.
on the menu for tonight.
Get it right.
Tasty. As well as that, we have a veggie tray from Mr. Qosmic Qadence.
Yeah, from our garden.
Exactly.
The Garden of Crow.
We have chips, salsa, and bean dip. Tasty.
Yes.
You sound so excited.
I
Yeah, I
she
know.
sounds
Yeah, that sounds
dead.
so. You didn't sell that. You didn't sell that.
Because you know what? I was thinking about something in my head, and that came through with the way I was saying it.
What was you gonna say? Who made the bean dip?
I was gonna say where y'all get it from.
Oh, I made the bean dip too.
Oh man.
How you make
did
it?
up.
Don't worry about it. My secret
alright.
secret kitchen.
Whatever. We have
Of
bean
Kim.
dip, as well as that. I've already tasted this. We have lemon cream cake. I'm
Was it good?
It was
Yeah,
good.
I'm ready to have another slice.
Oh, okay.
Another slice and another one.
And another one.
All right. I guess I'm ready for halftime. Are y'all?
Yeah,
Always.
Not yet, but yes.
I mean, not like that, but like
Yes.
y'all could eat.
Yeah, y'all are. You're not gonna eat.
Not to wear a facelift when she was reading.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe not.
What you was reading.
Well, we gonna eat.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna eat because I thought it was mini tostadas and large.
So what does it matter? What's the difference? Either way, you.
Because I got my stomach prepared for mini tostadas and large tostadas versus a mini taco salad
Well, just tell
and a
yourself.
mini tostada.
But just tell yourself that's what it is then.
It don't look like that.
Or
Okay.
just put two of them together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Put one
There
on
you
top
go.
of the
Minis
other.
become a large.
So
Yeah.
would that be toslaka?
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm
Okay.
not. I can't.
We're gonna move on for the night. We have a few hot topics to delve into. Are you guys ready?
Yes,
I'm
we are
ready.
always ready.
Can you
ready,
give me
ready.
a drum roll, please?
That was
the
good.
most beautiful drum roll I
Yeah,
ever heard.
I got a little bit, a little something, something.
Got a little something up your sleeve.
Yeah.
All right. So this is one that you actually mentioned to me earlier today, and I thought this was just funny if we spoke on this and maybe like your experiences or your thought process behind this happening to you, because it happens to everyone. So this was posted on a social media page. It says, "Is it just me or wait what?" Oh, it said, "Is it just my home, or does everyone else's spoons and forks just magically disappear? I mean, where do they even go?"
We're gonna start with you.
They're like socks in the dryer.
Exactly.
Like, yo, I feel like. So I was trying to eat a bowl of cereal a couple days ago. Fuck all my spoons up.
Yeah.
I only got 2 spoons now.
And had to
Now,
say-
mind you, do you stay alone or do you
I stay by myself.
See?
That's
But why I got
crazy.
7, 8 forks
That
and 2
is-
spoons?
They come back though.
Crazy.
It's weird, but they slowly come back.
But where are they going?
I
though?
don't know where they going.
Yeah.
They like
So
a
weird.
missing place. I don't know. Because we even bought a whole new set, so we should have had 3 sets.
More, right?
And then all of a sudden, the ones that was missing start slowly coming back.
They come back right before you go to the store.
But like, where do they go? Do they go behind the drawer, or like they get up, grow legs, and walk away? Like, what's the issue?
I don't know.
I think people go home with them, then they sneak them back in the
And then they
pockets.
bring
Then they bring them back.
bring them back to you.
Yeah,
That has to be what
it's
it
Cosmic
is.
Spoon.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't. Now, when you have a lot of people in your home, I can understand that. And you got kids, then you can understand that. But when it's just you in your house, there's no. Where is it going?
We have that problem, and it's just the 2 of us. And
Even
And
cups
we're anal.
too.
We're
Cups
anal.
disappear.
yeah.
Oh, see, cup. Yeah.
No. Then when Cups was disappearing, it was a whole nother reason.
But still, cups get up and walk away.
Well, lately, ours
I've seen
haven't.
a cup get up and walk away.
Well, I've seen my cup at other people's homes.
Oh yeah,
I be wanting to take my cups back. Have you ever seen your dishes at somebody else's house? I'll be like, give me my damn, but I just leave it there. But that
There's
hurts.
that white stuff around the rim now.
Yeah.
Oh no, then you leave
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah,
No,
like put
then
it
you
in the
leave
microwave.
it.
Somebody put it in the
Too many-
microwave. That's
a
what it
little
is.
too long.
Yeah.
You want your class back? Like,
No.
No,
But I-
That's your
yeah.
class.
Yeah.
but it's like socks too,
Have you
like
ever,
you said.
any of you guys ever got like a silverware from somewhere where you don't know where it came from? and
I'll
nobody
throw it
uses
away.
it?
I'll throw it
Yeah.
I try to leave it for you to use.
Or a
I don't
plate
know
or
where
a
it's
A
cup.
plate, yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
won't.
random.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
really just kind of,
I
yeah.
couldn't even put my food on it.
Yeah, if I don't, it was a cup that I think sat dormant in the cabinet for a couple years because I didn't know
Could
where
you
it came from, so I wasn't putting my lips on it.
I just throw them away like that and like random Tupperware. Like, they send me text messages like, yo, so that Tupperware, can you bring it back? I'm like, That shit in the trash.
Yes.
I ain't eat those meatballs.
Yeah.
I sat in my refrigerator for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
fuck
threw
this
it
shit.
out.
And you don't want to clean it, and yeah.
Does it feel weird putting your food in random Tupperware?
That's why I didn't eat it.
Yeah.
Do you eat other people's food? Because I don't.
Sometimes,
He said sometimes. He didn't
Well,
say
tonight,
I got
tonight
it
he
home, I
going
took it
to.
out. I was
Yeah.
like, this don't look right.
Yeah, gotcha.
It looked all right at the place, but I was like, in this Tupperware for some
It
reason.
don't
it was
look
like,
right.
this is
They
not
probably
right.
had that Tupperware, when they put in the
And
microwave,
it
they have that
frosted,
film
yeah.
around there.
And
Ooh.
I be having to trick myself
Yeah.
I
sometimes.
was like, nah, this
How,
doesn't work.
wait, how about actually? This is a funny one. When y'all go to other people's homes and they give you their silverware, I'm like notorious for this. I feel so bad because I do this about everybody else I go to besides mine. I like eat with my teeth. I don't eat with my tongue.
You know where you get that from?
Probably for me.
You get it from your aunt. She does the same thing. Because one time I watched, I'm like, Tracy does that.
I
Yeah.
don't eat with my teeth if I don't if it's from your house and
Yeah.
I'm not too not fond of you, but I don't know you too well or how y'all clean it. Like I eat
Or-
with my teeth.
Yeah, so I won't touch it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if everybody is using bleach the way they
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then how long? And this is bad. I watch how people eat on their silverware at their house. Then I'm like, I don't know if I want to eat.
Yeah, because if you think about it, it's kind of nasty.
yeah, if you don't use bleach, that is kind of nasty.
It's nasty.
And then, ooh, wait, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. If you think about it, when you put all the dishes in the water,
Yeah, that's-
all those germs
Yeah, it's just sitting there.
like,
That's why you have to
sit
rinse them and put bleach
in
in
that
them.
water.
That's why you have to rinse them off. Don't creep me out more.
Dishwashers are. We need a dishwasher.
Yeah, you're the dishwasher.
Anyways, that was so much shade. Anyways,
Usually I try to pretend like
you don't hear.
I need plastic.
Yeah. Like,
Oh yeah.
That's what
At a restaurant, I'd be asked for takeout plastic.
See, now the restaurant is disgusting because
Yeah.
oh
You don't
my
even
god,
know
do you ever think like the knife and everything like
Listen,
somebody else
Somebody else
lived
had 14, 15
people
earlier today.
that just that same
I'm
day?
gonna tell you, like
Some
I work,
plasticware.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I asked
do
for
you
the
ask for
to-go.
plastic?
I said
Oh,
to go.
Me too.
especially a Waffle House, but I work.
Oh,
at,
Yeah. Waffle House so nasty, but I love their food.
They've been using the same silverware since the 20s.
Yeah, that stuff is old.
Please
It's some
don't
thin-
say
it's
that.
Some, it's some old looking silverware.
Some
say
dead people. It's
Yeah.
some dead people.
That's still stuck on one of them.
Yeah.
Dead people dead, they still on them.
Oh, that's
All
disgusting.
between the
Yeah, and the
insides of
fork.
the fork.
Yeah. And the see, I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
You get caught in the inside.
Oh, I watch those, and when I watch dishes, I'll pull the towel
yeah,
through to
yeah,
get everything out of there.
See,
That's
every-
just me.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm like a
A neat.
I'm like, no, I'm exposing myself because I just said I eat clean. But I'm like a scrambled eggs person. Right? So I know that like when you
Scramble the
squeeze
eggs
those
and stuff.
you gotta get the, especially if you're using a fork, because you gotta scrub
Because it'll
Yeah.
hang on to
you
it.
gotta get that stuff in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't, it just gets caked up. in
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
So when I get to people's house, I'm looking at the floors. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, I never even thought to look in the inside.
The forks, you have to.
it's
I always
Right up in that, right up,
cheese
right
and
up in
all
there.
that stuff that gets stuck.
Yeah, right up
Disgusting.
in
It
that
gets
little.
in there.
Yeah.
It's-
That's
yeah.
crazy.
You
I've
have to
never
look
thought
at
of
it at
that.
different angles to see if something trapped in there.
See, I don't go eat at people's house. Thank you, Jesus. So from now on, I'm gonna be
They
checking
serve
that.
your food hot. You stick it in that food.
Oh, and
it
it just
melts.
melts
right in there. Add
Nasty
to
stuff.
it, and then it just.
You're like,
Get
this
some
is
extra,
good.
some extra. What you put in here?
40-year-old cheese. in there.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that is nasty, but it's true.
Oh, y'all
better
just
off with a
added
spoon.
levels to it for me.
That's
Goodness.
terrible. All right.
I never
so,
thought of it that way.
I know we just gave y'all a dishwashing lesson, a dishwashing 101.
See, I soaked mine with bleach and water for a long time.
Yeah.
That is disgusting. He said old people
Totally.
DNA. Oh, Jesus.
From the 20s at Walmart.
Disgusting. Yeah, they still are real old.
Yeah, that stuff is
It look
old.
old. It's
Yeah,
like
look all scratched, them
antique
scratches,
black.
and
It's
yeah, you can, yeah.
They got teeth marks on it.
I'm done. I am
Yeah,
so done.
Waffle House, I get plasticware. I'm not eating because I won't even. I don't even like IHOP. I won't eat IHOP food, but Waffle House, I have an exception because it at least tastes good. It still tastes good to me.
All right, so we gonna move on. I know that I guess it's October, so it's Halloween season, right? So I just want to know. Although I don't know, are you guys going like out or to any costume parties or anything like that?
Hell to the no.
No. Sit back down. What you going?
I'm coming back. Everybody don't have, yeah, I got you. No, but everybody ain't gotta know I got up.
Well, I had to let everybody know you got up.
Get your ass back
Why
over
she
here.
moving?
Why are you moving? So how about you? Are you going to costume parties?
You know what? So as fate would have it, Poetic Soul falls on the 31st.
Oh,
this year.
okay.
I have never in my adult life dressed up in a costume.
Oh.
If you or anybody produces photos of me dressed up as a child, I will deny that is me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think this year it'll be a lot of fun to do a themed event, right? Where everybody at least comes in costume.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll have to play along because it's only right.
Yeah, she never
So
did.
I had to figure out a costume. Any costume I did.
That's what I was gonna ask you guys. Like,
Oh,
what would
no.
you be?
I don't know. What do I look like?
You should be
What
the
do
Black
think?
Panther.
I was
with your
thinking
hair like
Black
that.
Panther.
Yeah.
Wait, T'Challa?
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 Not that one with them little bitty bumps all on his skin, but the
That was Killmonger.
I can't be Killmonger.
No, you'll be T'Challa.
T'Challa.
T'Challa. Yeah.
Oh Lord, you might
you
get a
could be
lot of
Black
women
X,
being
you could be a
that.
Black X-Man too with your hair.
Okay.
Black X-Men.
That's some ideas. I could be T'Challa. I don't know.
That would be a good one.
No, not X-Men. No, it's a Wolverine. Which one got them little blades that come
No,
out?
he needs to be.
Wolverine. You could be a Black Wolverine.
That's
Yeah.
a good. Ooh, even with this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Oh, look at you! Watch out now.
Get some good ideas.
He might come home with a whole bunch of numbers. He put that costume on. His phone gonna be
Whole
full.
new family.
Okay.
Marvel.
Your Instagram gonna be going like this.
Any other ideas? What else could you be? I'm trying to think.
No, those are probably the best too.
Those are two I could see easily.
Those are good. I have to go back and watch both movies now.
Yeah.
So you can be ready.
Yeah, I can be like.
You gotta be in your
I
role.
need to have his
Yeah.
moves.
Yeah, get them moves.
I'm gonna be weak now.
T'Challa, I need to have my.
You got to
my
get your
poise.
eggs down.
And I'm gonna need
Oh,
his
yeah.
accent.
Oh,
His-
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
His accent, dang. I can't even think. All right. What about y'all? What would y'all be?
Stay focused.
It seemed like we talked about this last year, didn't
Well,
we?
I don't know if you did, but if so, here we go again.
Here we go again.
I don't know
I
what
don't
I would.
I could. what
Maybe no, I wouldn't say a nurse because that's too typical.
That's too like.
A lioness, maybe.
Ooh.
You know, I don't want to say nothing too crazy. We ain't had enough drinks yet, so.
If
What else?
I could wear high heels for a long time, probably Catwoman or somebody.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Dang,
But
y'all trying
my
to
own-
get real sexy.
But man, them heels, I don't know if I could do it for that long. Maybe just a
She's gonna
picture.
be a kitten by the end of the night. With
a
her
broke up kitten.
and then her heels gonna
Put
go
some
from
heel.
here to there.
Then I can put some cat heels on afterwards.
You can put them little cat heels on. It'd be perfect. They be like, I thought you was a cat earlier. You know, I'm just a little kitten.
I'm just a kitten now.
She's gonna have to have a costume change.
From Catwoman to Kitty. Just happened.
Kitty Kim. Kimmy Kitty.
Yeah, Kimmy went from a cat to a kitty. Kitty.
That would be a hell of a party. I would love to see that. That
What
would
if
be
I
fun.
had the heels where they could just automatically just go? It's like get tired.
What?
They just go
They
this
just
way.
remote control. They wear out as the night goes
Yeah,
on.
and then when I want to change back, they
Each
go back
hour
up.
as she get tired, they go.
But then I want to go back up at the end of the day.
I'm so
Some
done.
hydraulics. Yeah, some hydraulics.
He said remote control.
Got a little switch. They got an app for that.
No, if they malfunction on you.
One hour.
Lippy cat.
Oh my God, Q. I'm gonna call you Q because
My bad.
your ass is stupid. You got me over here
Y'all clown me.
freaking
Oh,
weak.
my
No,
God.
that's you over there, Claire. I'm talking about
Lippy
Lippy.
cat.
I'm in tears over here.
boy.
Your
I
ass is
gotta be
crazy.
sweating.
I know I'm over here hot.
I'm about to turn my air down.
Please, because it's hot.
Man, my stomach hurt.
She don't tell me they gonna malfunction on me.
Oh, man. Well, I can see you just walking around. She doing a Cabbage Patch though.
And I
Ain't no music on. She's still with that.
The Cabbage Patch. They ain't even trying.
The music on.
Oh my God. thank you for that laugh. I needed that. Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Laughter is medicine.
yes.
I needed that. Oh, my God. Yeah, something's wrong with you. Oh.
These damn
So
martinis,
now when you see a cat woman, that would be a good skit. That skit would be funny as hell. You know
Oh, that would be a funny skit.
That would be a funny skit.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
I can't even think.
You what would you be? You don't even know now after that, huh?
No, I can't
After
even
he
think
said
about it.
remote control. Okay, Jesus.
I can't even think about it.
All you keep seeing is that limping cat.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But do Catwoman wear boots too?
But the heel on the boot could go high and low. That's
Oh,
what
God.
No, I was
Lord
just wondering
Jesus.
if she wore boots.
they not loose boots.
Have you seen Rail, the sitcom with the comedian? Is his name
Oh, yeah,
Rail?
Rail.
Yeah, I think so. Little Rail, that's his name.
You got people with them boots that got all that air.
They were so
I won't wear
mad.
no loose boots. Nah, that won't happen.
How do you feel about loose boots?
I mean, you know,
On women, so you gotta
to
say.
each his own. You know, loose boots were a fashion like a while ago.
Back-
many years ago. Right? A while ago.
That was back in the 80s.
What year?
Back in the 80s.
They was slouch, but they was slouch, but
Kinda
they was still,
slouch,
but they
kinda
was still
slouchy.
kind of. It wasn't that much openness on them.
No, it wasn't like
Yeah.
droopy boots.
Yeah.
It's like drunk boots. They got ridiculous.
Oh, Jesus. Loose boots.
Are they boots?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what are they,
exactly.
some
What are
socks,
they now?
Leg warmers. I don't
Like,
know.
Oh, God, I can't with him. I can't. Am I gonna make it through? Oh,
So what you
Jesus.
gonna be?
Loose boots.
Oh, you gonna be loose boots?
They gonna be so are y'all going to the same party?
Mother and daughter.
I'm gonna be the loose boot Catwoman, and you know.
Y'all gonna look a hot ass mess.
Oh my God. Libby cat and Flappy cat.
Lefty and flappy.
Why are boots making noise?
Oh, God, Jesus.
Just flapping in the wind.
The flap, flap.
Everything keep falling in them.
You can put your treats in there.
Hey, that's like my
He
basket, like
said-
for Halloween. Yeah.
Okay.
Extra drinks, empty glasses, clean silverware.
Yeah, there you go.
You ain't gotta trust
And
nobody
your
else.
loose boots.
Loose boots carry everything.
Oh, my God, that was hilarious.
We had a whole laugh about boots.
I needed that laugh
Whole
tonight.
boot segment.
Yeah.
For real, exactly.
Yeah.
Brought to you by our sponsors.
Yeah. I'm gonna wear boots
Boot
next.
bar.
I'm gonna wear some boots on the next podcast.
No, you
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
don't.
put some boots on.
No, okay.
Man.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, crazy.
So, are you guys all Wu-Tang fans?
I'm not, so.
When Method Man was little.
Yeah.
Method Man and Old Dirty Bastard.
Yeah.
ODB.
All right, so, well, the story of the legendary Wu-Tang Clan will be making its way to Hulu pretty soon.
Oh, I'll watch that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting.
Is it like a series or just one show?
Probably a biopic.
Yeah.
Is Method Man gonna be in there?
Well, no, it's actually a 10-episode series coming from Wu-Tang's
Oh,
own.
wow.
Yeah, RZA, that's his name, right?
RZA, yeah. RZA's
RZA.
very creative.
Okay, yeah.
He can put Method Man in. I'll definitely watch every.
But they don't
single
put the real people, though. It's just.
They might put some clips of Method Man in there. So.
let them
Another man has
people.
an age. This dude still looks exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
He does.
So
She
either that
love him.
means he had an extremely old face,
Yeah.
or the dude's a vampire.
Yeah. Y'all believe
She
Method Man
loved
alive.
Method Man.
You better believe
That's a
Method
good
Man.
point, though. I didn't think about that.
Well, y'all, that's not for y'all to be worried about. He still look
He still
Because
looks
he
the
got
same.
a real old face.
Either he started out like old
Yeah.
face young dude.
Yeah.
And now he just old face,
Yeah,
old
they
face.
just old face. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, what's good, man?
No,
He always look old.
Yeah.
She loved Method Man.
so
God.
No, but that would be something I would definitely watch because I don't know a lot about them.
me
Yeah.
either. So
It should be good to hear all their stories because they're like the Wu is actually really big. There's a lot of them. There's a whole lot. So that's the reason it would take 10 episodes to like cover everybody.
Cover
So,
everybody.
A lot of them cats.
Yeah, I definitely watch that.
Yeah, I would too. Because, you know, Wu-Tang for life. I'm just joking. I don't really.
You're
I don't
looking at
know.
Method Man. I don't care. You look at any of the Old Dirty, all of them. Even though he dead, you look at all of them. Believe.
So dumb
Just
about
like dig them up.
Yeah. But just don't look at Method Man.
He said, dig him up and look at
Look at
him.
him out.
Have a look. Give him a kiss.
See.
A looky loo.
All right. So, what advice read you her story right now. So the subject is, and I guess you could give advice maybe, it's about a woman in a sense, but you can give advice from a male perspective because it has something to do with the male. So my fiance never showed up to our wedding.
That sucks.
Okay, this was supposed to be me and my ex-fiance, but he never showed up to our wedding on Monday, and we never went to Greece. I didn't get insurance for our trip and lost over $3,000, not including all the vendors I paid for out of pocket. He paid for nothing. People showed up and flew from everywhere and went back home after the venue turned them around. I found out he never paid the venue. I was at the hotel getting ready with my girls when this went down. 10 years gone in 10 minutes. I purchased a dress for $3,000, paid the DJ $2,400, photographer $4,000, and other small purchases totaling $2,000. He spent $300 for my hair and nails and $500 for the venue deposit, which he told me he paid, but was a lie. He never paid it. We even had a bridal shower. I'm in a dream reality now.
And this is a true story?
Yeah.
Oh, you go first on that one, Q. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, what advice? What am I doing?
Yeah, like what should she do now that she's stuck?
She should find that dude and snatch his soul out of his body. Like,
Goodness, that is awful.
Yo, that's pretty terrible. I've heard of like that happening to people before. So I always wonder like how do you even get to the point of planning out this entire wedding? Like so her saying, so it's something very important that I hear in that telling that she basically paid for everything. So that means that she was just in control of planning everything. She was just telling him what was going down, and he was never really involved. Now, I don't know if it's a man thing. I think I got married once upon a time. I was not involved in the planning. That's just because I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, but you just probably gave the money and let them.
And I showed up.
Exactly.
But I did show up.
You gave money and you showed up.
I showed up too. I probably wish later on that I didn't.
But that's what I was going to say. It's a blessing in disguise because if she's paying for all this stuff, imagine they sitting talking about they're about to buy a house, they're about to do all this. I think that would be worse. I'd be hurt, but I'm like, deuces. I'd rather know that now than
you'll be hurt in the moment
and all that.
Yeah, that DJ must have been amazing with 2400.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they couldn't even have a party. Sometimes people will turn it into a party.
They got kicked out of the
venue. He didn't pay the venue, so nobody had nowhere to go.
They had nowhere to go. She was already out of like 10 grand.
But then too, he might not. I wonder if she was listening to him. What if he probably didn't want something that big? Maybe he couldn't afford that because she might have not been listening to him too, and he probably just felt like it just got out of control and was like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah, I mean, but she paid for everything. He was only responsible for the fire.
Yeah, but he probably couldn't afford to do that, and she probably wasn't listening.
I think he only spent $300.
That's what she said on her hair and nails. So he was probably gonna be out like $1,000, like literally $500 for the deposit, $300 for hair and nails, like $200 maybe for the tuxedo rental. Dude, like really.
I would want answers. I would definitely want answers.
Yeah, that's some seriously cold feet.
Yeah,
I would be completely embarrassed, but I would have just hey, we're gonna take the party somewhere else, and then try to find him and get answers.
And then they were supposed to go to Greece. I would have still went to
No,
Greece.
but my thing is, why is she having all these big plans and it sounds like you don't have no damn money? I'm sorry, I'm just being real.
Maybe her family was paying for her to go to Greece, though.
But then...
Wait, but no, she said 10 years gone in 10 minutes. They were together for that long.
Okay, so she should have known. So, that's bad.
Well, but my thing is, I'm not going to spend all that much money on the wedding by myself. I'm sorry.
She paid for everything.
That's what it sounds like. She paid for everything. I'm not paying for everything. No.
So the only thing he had responsibility for was the venue?
And her nails and hair.
Shit, I'd be like, I'm paying for tuxedo. Yeah, I'd have been like, I'm paying for
that should have been a red flag right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Did he even get a tuxedo?
Did he even know what? I think it was a surprise wedding.
Yeah.
I think he got an invitation to the mail. It was like, surprise, we're getting married on the 13th.
And they took save the date pictures and sent out to save the date and everything.
Wow.
I think
Did he look happy in the photo?
They covered his face.
He looks like he's smiling.
I think it was too much for him. He couldn't afford it. He couldn't afford her or that, and I think he probably like deuces.
It looks like
y'all sure he could have had a whole other family.
It looks like they're
that too. He couldn't afford her and his other family.
He could have had something.
Yeah, that's
weird.
true.
That is really weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
10
man.
years though.
10 years? How do you be with somebody 10 years and not know?
And dip out on a wedding like
I
that.
could have been with somebody 10 years and I'm paying for the whole goddamn wedding. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. I'm not
Excuse
paying for
my
the whole thing.
French.
Excuse my French.
And then were they already living together? I'm wondering.
I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure they were if they were together for 10 years.
There's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Yeah. Let's get her on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. What's her name? What's her name on Facebook?
Her name is Sasha. I don't know her. They blurred out his name, so you
And I wouldn't even took it.
What's
to
their
say ask nobody no
nationality?
They're
questions.
both black.
And where,
Oh, I thought they're from New York.
yeah, where did she go? Where did she go to put that on
changes a
the
lot.
internet?
I
'Cause
think she emailed the Shade Room.
I wouldn't even email nobody that mess.
And then she's just trying to go viral.
Yeah. What should I do?
It ain't nothing to
You
do.
can.
She might be trying to go viral because
Yeah.
you know a lot of people do that.
It's nothing to do. But just accept that he ain't there no more and just move on.
That's
Girl,
sad.
It's sad, but I wouldn't go asking that many people to be in my business.
She
I'm
probably
sorry.
trying to get the money back. That's all.
From who?
Yeah.
Or
Exactly.
GoFundMe or something.
A
Who knows?
GoFundMe. Oh, that's a good
Girl.
point.
No.
They do GoFundMes for
Yeah,
anything these
GoFundMe.
days.
My fiance didn't show up
For
for the wedding. I paid for it.
iPad or just crazy stuff.
GoFundMe.
Yeah. I don't know. That's shady. I don't know.
That's sad.
That was probably a blessing for her, in my opinion.
Just pray that don't happen to nobody over here.
Well, I ain't just let nobody just pay $1,000 for some shit. You gotta come up off more than that, and we gonna have.
You like, when the wedding? Hey, babe, when the wedding again? Hey, we about to get married. Hey, babe.
Okay.
Hey, John asking, when's the wedding again? That dude was not in the game at all.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Something ain't right with that story.
That's crazy.
At all.
Now, why would you want her to spend all that
He
money?
gave her $300 for her hair and nails.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd be like, no, babe, we don't need no wedding.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, just at a piece downtown.
Yeah.
$500.
Yeah.
How much that marriage
That was
cost?
at least
$30?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're gonna save
He could
$470.
afford
I
all
pay
of
for
that.
that.
He could afford all that.
Your hair and nails. My sister gonna do that.
I'm done with you. I'm done.
But it's
Yeah, we
true.
just- we
But
just
if you
save
can't
$400.
afford it, why go doing all
I
that?
am so done with
A
him.
lot of people do that though. People live for the wedding.
Yeah.
And,
No, a lot of women.
like, you gotta live after that. You know what I mean? We're gonna live it after. We just spent $10,000
On a wedding.
For people to sit there and eat up my damn food, no. I'm good.
Yo, that's $10,000. We could have dropped that 10 down
On
the
the house.
Like,
Exactly.
And then, so we going
Some
back to the
women have
apartment
it in
with
their
all these
minds,
gifts.
though.
Okay, back to the
All
apartment.
these wedding gifts.
We were
Yeah.
just talking about that today. She had something to say about Eva Marcel spending $200,000 on her recent wedding.
That's
What?
stupid. That's
For
stupid.
what?
$200,000.
She had
What
3
did it
dress
do?
changes and then had on Gucci sneakers the whole time or something. I think that's just a waste of money.
What did it do?
200,000. Is she?
$200K for?
But I think that dude she
I think
married.
he got
I think he got money. I think
I
he
don't
got
care.
money.
That's
Why
still
would
just a
you-
waste of
that's
money.
excess. That's ridiculous. Yo. Why would you throw away that kind of money?
That's true.
It don't make no sense to me.
That is really. This is a really interesting society that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
People's mentalities are really. crazy.
It's gotten very.
It's ridiculous.
No,
It
it's-
is out there.
Everybody's just thinking about like money and
And
Or
how they
it
look.
and how they
looks
look
other
to people.
But I heard too, somebody said the online returns on clothes is high because people are getting the clothes, taking pictures, and sending them
Wow.
back.
Oh, I saw that the other
I
day
said,
too.
you gotta be kidding me.
What?
Yes, the internet,
Free
internet
shipping.
shopping.
Dope. Just send that thing right back. That's crazy.
They
People
get
are
the
ridiculous.
outfit to take pictures and send it back. What kind of sense
Yo,
does that make?
Instagram popping.
Yeah.
Yo, closet for real.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
got 3 items in it from the Goodwill.
Oh,
And let
God,
somebody
Jesus.
catch a glimpse of that. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
That's sad.
Because everybody want to be famous.
Basically.
It look like they live in
There's no more
fabulous.
TV,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
basically the internet is TV.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody
That's
wants
crazy.
to be famous.
Dang, the highlight reels.
I am so. You are hilarious.
That's a good idea.
You are.
That's a
freaking-
damn good idea.
The what? What?
You just go shopping and take all the clothes, take pictures in it, and take all the clothes.
Right.
Like,
But then you ain't gonna
got
go
this new
nowhere because you ain't got
Burberry
no.
belt.
Yeah.
Just picked up all of this, whatever. it is.
Yeah.
Send it right on
The
back.
labels.
That
You
is
got a whole bunch of
awesome.
pending charges on your card.
Yeah. Tied up.
Tied up.
Fraud. Everything is fraud. Yeah. What? $5,000 with the Gucci. Who would buy $5,000 with the Gucci? Anything.
All they got to
Please
do
take
is
this
go
off
to
my
their,
car.
go to their Instagram.
Go to their Instagram like, sir,
Yeah.
the belt and the hat to match that
Yeah.
you say you did not have is on your Instagram.
Oh my
Yeah, that
goodness.
stuff is nice, but I'm not gonna break myself for it, and I just can't pay ridiculous. That stuff is just ridiculous.
That is crazy. They say Bow Wow does stuff like that too, like take pictures and
Bow
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Airplane,
takes pictures and
Thomas
stuff.
is
Yeah.
jet.
Bow Wow challenge.
And Charlamagne is always calling him out
But it's like, why? Just live your life. People ain't worried about that.
They
because
wanna
they
live their life
want
for
to
other
live
people.
exactly.
Living for other
So
people.
but the sad part, if you make them happy, you're happy, and I think that's stupid.
But the sad thing, the same people you live in your life for, they doing the same exact thing you do.
Or they ain't studying you.
Yeah,
They ain't studying you at all. No one's even paying attention to you, bro.
I don't know.
Child, please.
We should just go into the Gucci store and just Gucci it up in some loose boots.
I didn't even think about that.
some loose boots. And some loose boots.
And
That's
get
all
the
in there.
remote.
Gucci actually
The remote
does have some high loose boots too.
Get the remote Louis Vuitton.
Remote loose boot
Yeah.
joints.
Yeah, exactly.
The 2019s ain't even out yet.
I did not know people were doing that.
Christmas,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Okay. And that's another thing. People go crazy on Christmas, too.
Oh man, shopping is crazy.
Oh yeah, they
People
do, and
go
then
broke.
they
Yeah.
yeah, crazy
the
for their
holidays.
kids
Like,
and stuff.
What are you doing? Why?
And them kids tear that shit up and next year they ain't got nothing. I wouldn't let my baby
In
tear up
4
stuff. I
months,
worked hard
3
for
months, 2
she
months.
she had a yard sale and sold all her stuff and made a lot of money.
I know this is off topics,
Cool.
but they're gonna have the Players Ball 12th annual reunion here in Phoenix soon.
I don't got time. I'm gonna be residing in that
November
house all
the
day. I
3rd.
don't want to see any
You're
of
not
that
a problem.
foolery.
You
Players
can go.
Ball.
Players, no.
I would be
You
laughing.
The
said
old
the
players
players
have it.
ball, right?
There's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of
Okay,
loose
yeah.
boots.
Men and women.
It's
With
at
that
I
loose boots
I
in
would
the
go to laugh though.
November the 3rd from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the
Where?
Elks Lodge
Oh,
At the
on
Elks.
107 South
in
7th
I
Avenue.
honestly would want to go to laugh.
What'd you say?
I'm not
All
gonna
them
lie.
cootie cat chases.
Yeah.
At the Elks.
I would
Look,
go.
holla, holla,
If you
holla,
want, yeah, if you want a sugar daddy, anybody looking for a
Sugar
sugar
daddy and
daddy,
sugar mamas. They
There's
gonna be
gonna
up
be a
in
lot
there.
of kittens in there.
Yeah, I just want to look.
it's gonna be a
laugh.
lot of remote control shoes.
The players, boy. There's a lot of. There's gonna be a lot of wheelchairs, motorized scooters up in the Elks.
I haven't been to the Elks in like 1,000
Elks is on where?
years.
Where
That's
is
the
the
one.
crossroads?
It's the 7th Avenue.
That's by the Memorial Hospital.
Okay, gotcha. I know what that's. That place
that
is
one.
little.
They having the
Players
Players
gonna
Ball.
be up in there.
Yeah, they gonna
Yeah.
be cold.
They
They
probably
gonna have
I wanna see them
snakes
cars.
and everything.
Yeah, I want to see the
Girl.
cars.
they reserving their suits now.
Get ready to return them after.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Yeah, I would laugh at that. That would be hilarious.
That would be something
That's
funny to
Steve
go to.
Harvey Taylor made right now.
No, Steve Harvey, somebody grandma done made it.
They
They
got
be
some
all
Stacey
stitched up.
Adams suits and shoes. They gonna be Staceyed up.
I'm so weak. The
Don't
pants
let
gonna
me
be
catch
so
you at the
long.
I'm
damn
not
Players
close
Ball.
like
I'm
that.
gonna
I
be
wanna
weak.
go.
If
I
I
wanna
see
go
a
laugh.
picture of you, I'm gonna be weak.
They gonna be trying to hit on you if you try to go.
Them little mother snuckers better get away from me. I'm just gonna laugh. I just wanna laugh.
Shoot, I might go see if I can find me a cat daddy. It's right
You
before we
better not
go.
bring his little old ass around me.
Right before we go to the adult prom, so I can wear the same
Oh my
dress.
God, this
No,
is
Hell
like-
listen,
Exactly.
She gonna be like, "Ooh, I found me one." And we gonna be like, "Where he gonna be rolling up on the bus?"
Okay.
No, he gonna be smooth.
I might go find me a date. Shit, y'all better leave me alone.
You wanna get
He
you a
gonna
little
make
old
it there
ass
in
me.
10 years.
I'm gonna dye his hair before we dye his beard.
Died in permit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm not done. I'm so
What was
done
your
with
next
y'all.
conversation? Your next
I'm not
topic?
done. Our next topic is this food on the table.
Oh, okay, that was easy.
That was easy peasy lemon
She gonna
squeezy.
get her
Okay,
cat daddy.
like
All right, we'll be back.
Got 2 necklaces from Tiffany's. My ice 10 times, your nose ring. You better back up before you get got. I'ma knock you with my rose gold wristwatch. Y'all think this is a game, but I'm spitting facts. My middle name, Bougie, so you know it's raps. Yeah, double C's on my eyes, so I'm seeing clear. Just left the dealership, I'm a swerving stare. On the loop 202, and I'm heading near you. What? Okay, I might just pull up in the Accord, but don't worry, got the X3 keys in the door. What more can y'all even ask for? Fan first, pie son, sitting pretty, we on, yeah, we about to be litty on the moon, and we got new work coming real soon. And as for you, you should have been on, cause we about to take over the whole damn zone. We doing this as a team, so we all about to be
Back. from an electric first half. That first half was funny. I'm not even gonna
Watch
lie.
out.
I'm still laughing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
goodness.
Man, how was the food?
It was tasty.
It
I was
really
asking
good.
him, not
It
you.
was-
You didn't. You just asked
But
one
Yeah,
rock
that's
I
funny.
question.
said, how was the
The
food?
person who made it is like, it was really tasty.
See, yeah.
And she made it. That was really good. That was really good.
Did it grease your tummy just right?
You know
Right.
what? It actually did the trick. I was a little worried. I was a little concerned. There was no meat.
Right.
And then she showed me a message. She's like, I'm gonna show you the text. You said no.
Right.
Next time we put on a slab of pork ribs and the smoker.
It was really good. Really good.
I'm telling you, we can get down now.
Get down to the ground.
Get
you
low,
get back
get
up?
low, get low. No, get low, and then somebody need to help me
Drop
back
it
up.
down.
No, get low and then you remote control
Drop
your
it down.
Remote control back up.
I'm done.
Oh, man. Okay, so
Got an app
Qosmic.
for it.
With the shoes, huh?
I had the shoes, you had a chair.
Okay, we gotta make sure we
Oh,
get
so
down
that means
low.
I can have my shoes on and make it look like I'm getting low by the heels going down.
Oh, no, I'm done. Get low.
Drop it low. Drop it low.
And,
She just hit the remote.
And then
Go
when she
down.
bring it back up, bring it back.
But if it gets stuck, though, short circuit.
If your batteries go out, you're gonna be a hot mess in the people club.
I'm gonna have Energizer batteries.
She's supposed to be wobbling. She on the Cabbage Patch.
I gotta go
Oh, yeah.
charge my boots.
One up, one down.
Oh man, so Q, this half is all about you. As we said before, Q is a man of many hats, and I'm just gonna go ahead and list off
Couple
many
of
things that he does.
Just a fur.
Just a
Poet, he's an author, a youth educator, a community activist, and a speaker. So before, I'm gonna do this a little bit differently because it's usually I'll just tell you what I do. I usually, for the most part, ask like, tell us a little bit about yourself. But I want to stray away from that question a little bit. So, how did you get the name Qosmic Qadence?
So, Qosmic. It's actually Cosmic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
The Q's confused.
I
me.
did.
Cosmic.
I said it right in my head,
Don't
but
worry.
it came out wrong.
And you was like, but the Q is right there, so it confuses people, and that's my fault. But it's all good. So look, the name. So I wrote poetry for about 5 years consecutively under the name The Poet Six, and it was six with a double X, SIXX, and it was to signify my height, kind of to double the six up because I'm 6'6", 6 inches tall. Can't even 6 inches. Damn, Martinis. I can't even talk.
So what is this? So 6'6"?
6'6" is my height.
Yeah, woo.
So I was calling myself the
Say
Poet
yeah,
Six.
I opened the door and I was like, woo,
She,
woo.
that was it. That was her first comment. Not even, hey, baby, how you doing? Welcome. She's like, you tall. You're real tall. Yeah, so I wrote poetry for many years under that name. Never performed any of it. And then I was like, I can't. At some point, I made a decision I was just going to be a poet full time. And I was like, I can't call myself the Poet Six. That just sounds silly. Like I started thinking about people introducing me like the Poet Six.
Yeah.
This is dumb. So at that point, I was like, well, I need to figure out a name for myself. And I don't know. I was trying to think, still couldn't come up with anything. And one morning I woke up and it just popped into my head, Qosmic Qadence. And I was like, that sounds pretty dope. Let me Google it, see if anybody's using it. The only thing I found on the internet was like an old song on YouTube that somebody made. And it was just like, Qosmic Qadence, Qosmic Qadence. Just like kept repeating it over and over again. And then I found a book that was written back in 1971 or something
Yeah,
like
that was a good year.
It was a damn good year, right?
Yeah, it was a really good
In
year.
71, that was called, it was a book of poetry or book of writings or something called Qosmic Qadence. And I was like, oh, so nobody's using it as a name. Cool, so then I'll take it. And then I just freestyled it with changing the C's from the C and the spelling to Q's at the start of both words. And I was the only Qosmic Qadence on the internet. And now there's 14 million of them.
What made you choose a
Oh,
Q, though?
really?
Because my legal last name starts with a Q. So most people in corporate or school or whatever spaces I was in would call me Q, just because people started calling me Q. So I was like, all right, it's kind of like a play on, that. In my most recent corporate work, I was called Q. I was referred to as Q like a whole bunch. And oddly enough, I was doing this, working with this entertainment company. They had a bit of a telemarketing call center kind of an element to their operation, And I went from just like regular worker to a supervisor in the space. And the company was known by an acronym, THE, and which spells the. And so once I remember being on the phone and someone's like, put your manager on the phone, and I'm like listening on the call. And this guy's like so irate, so angry for whatever reason. Somebody pissed in his Wheaties or whatever. And I get on the phone and he's like, what's your name? And I was like, let me talk to the manager. I was like, I am the manager. He's like, what's your name? I was like, Q. Because everybody called me Q. And he's like, what's your actual name? I was like, it's Q. And he's like, wait, so your company's the and your name's Q? That's a fucking scam. And he's like, hangs up. So at that point, I like created this whole persona for myself working with that entertainment company of like Q. I was like, no, it's QUE. And then it went from like somebody got on me after about 6 months of Q. Your mom named you K, like QUE, really? And I was like, shh. So I had to like, I just kept evolving. And so like my regular, just little one letter Q ultimately became like QUENTYN. So I created this whole persona for myself working in entertainment of Quentin Ross. And that's where my original Facebook page actually started as Quentin Ross. And then I just changed it over once I stopped being, industry and just changed it over to Qosmic Qadence. So a lot of those industry contacts are still like on my Facebook. So they know for sure I'm a fucking whack job. I mean, like LL Cool J just keep LL
evolving.
Puffy. I just keep like
evolving.
It's like, what's it gonna be this week? Yeah, you know what I mean? Q Dizzle.
Okay. Q to the
whatever,
E.
Q cat.
Yeah, Q cat. With the remote heel.
I got the heels.
Yeah, so kind of evolution from the Q's, but yeah, Qosmic Qadence. So it kind of fits, when I introduce myself now, I tell people, oh, my name's Qosmic, and they're just like, oh, really? That's a really cool name, and I'm like, Qosmic.
Have you legalized the name as well?
I probably should.
Yeah,
I trademarked it, but I actually want to change my legal name to Qosmic Qadence just to really fuck with people.
They'd be like, what?
You see your ID, and I'm like,
here you go.
holy shit.
So you said it's like 14 million people now with that name?
There's a whole bunch of them. I have no clue.
So, but when you did your search, it was just you.
Else.
Okay.
There was nobody else on Instagram, Facebook, and if you Google Qosmic Qadence, you'll see a whole
bunch of them.
Just type it into your bar, you'll see a bunch of folks.
Wow.
There are a lot of Q Cosmics too. So just like Cosmic Solo, Cosmic One.
And who would even think
Cosmic
to spell it like that? So
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's dope.
Copycats.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Copycats, you see?
What a cute.
The cat's just running amok.
Yeah.
QOPY.
Damn cats.
Quappy. Goddamn quappy quacks.
You a cold cat.
You a cold cat.
Quack.
All right. So Q, where are you from originally?
Originally from Washington, D.C., born and raised. Moved out to Arizona 6 years ago next month. So, yeah, D.C. cat.
What brought you to Phoenix?
Managing operations for the entertainment company.
Okay.
So, yeah, I worked for them for 5 years prior on the East Coast. And then they decided to close that office and move out here. They had an office here already, but they just decided to close that office and consolidate. So they moved, the entire operation here, and they were like, well, Q, it's been great working with you. You've been amazing. We love you. But we know your family's here. You're not just going to pick up and leave, so we'll see you around. I was like, the fuck? My bag's already packed. When do we leave? And they're like, what? You leave with us? I was like, yeah. I was at that point ready in my life to do some things different, you know what I mean? And then I just perceived that there was a great opportunity, with that company, and just in the move period, just kind of stretch myself. I was like, if it doesn't work, I can always move back home.
Yeah.
DC's not going anywhere, so.
Was that your first time here in Arizona?
Yes, I had never visited Arizona.
You didn't know anyone?
The only thing I knew is that I watched the news occasionally, and when they showed the temperature, Arizona
it was hot.
always as red as your shirt.
Yeah.
And it was like triple digits.
And you
even
just
in
said,
December.
I'm still going to do it.
And I was like, I'm going.
Oh, well, you came in December?
No, I'm just saying.
Even
as they
in
reported,
even in
it was
December.
like, it's just triple digits out here all the time. It's like it's always like
but
181 out there. It's like,
but I'm going. My bags are
anyway.
packed.
I was like, it doesn't matter. I had no idea. Like,
Dang, you did well.
What was out here? What it was gonna be like? But I just took a shot, so it was dope.
Was it a rough transition?
Nah, I wouldn't say it was rough. It was pretty interesting transition. I wouldn't say rough. I become accustomed to black people and kicking it with black people, a lot in the DC. So that was kind of rough coming into Phoenix especially in the neighborhood where I moved, I would see black people. Like, oh shit, it's a couple black people.
Where did you originally move to?
I moved to like the Sunny Slope area.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And but I would see black people occasionally in my community even, and they wouldn't speak. And I was like, what the fuck is this kind of weird? Blessings King, Blessings Queen, how are you? They'd be like, hit me with the Heisman joint, like, you miss me with that bullshit, sir. Good morning to you, and don't speak.
He got the voice.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, holy shit, black people are weird here. So that was probably like the biggest thing. It was trying to find the black community. So that was like a culture shock for me. And trying to figure that out, but once I figured it out, I was like, "Oh yeah, there are black people here."
I got this, and it's even more now since even you moved here.
They keep moving here.
Yeah,
traffic's all crazy.
They won't go nowhere.
Yeah, all that, go back home. Shit, all this traffic.
We like the people.
You brought all
I
those
like
black
the people.
here.
I didn't say the black people. I just mean
they follow me. Actually.
Okay, they followed you from what do they call Washington D.C.?
Chocolate City.
Oh, I thought it was dark country or something like that.
Okay, we can be dark country
Oh,
too.
something
She
like
said
that.
dark country.
Yeah, the dark country where the darkies are at.
Yeah,
dark country, DC, dark country.
Can you tell us a little bit about life though in Washington D.C. when you were there?
DC is crazy. It's a bit of a cultural melting pot like most others, but the heartbeat of DC is a really dope heartbeat. It's a really good space for like cultural connectivity. You know, I would say. So the black people, the black community especially, is like a really vibrant kind of a
do they stick together?
blend of like just like love and togetherness is really dope.
That's good.
We have our issues like everywhere else. You know, obviously we're like at the highest murder rate for many years running, like all this craziness. So you still have like all of that. Poverty is crazy in certain parts, and the job market is good for some, bad for others, stuff like that. So neighborhoods are good for some, some areas, and bad for other areas. But for the most part, life in DC is what you make it like everywhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the cops are fucking crazy. So I came like shell shocked because of the trauma of how we were treated by police there. And I was like, when I say traumatized, I would pull up beside cops, or cops would pull up beside me, and I'd be like, holy shit, the cops are there. Like, is my seatbelt on? I just keep looking forward. And then after a couple months, I realized that the cops aren't checking for us here. I was like, oh, man. They're not like
they're not as like hell bent on getting you.
They're not checking for us here. I was like, it was a difference. It was almost a guarantee in DC when I was growing up. Like if the cops got behind you, you were as good as pulled over.
And because of your skin color.
It was a wrap. Or the kind of car you were driving, you were profiled.
Like if your car was leaning to the side, leaning to the side.
That damn remote went out.
That damn hydraulic remote go out. You leaning on what?
It's on.
Get him.
I've never been to DC. That's interesting.
Yeah, DC's a really dope place. So still like the culture, the art, the people. We create our own genre of music called go-go. So go-go is really prevalent in the city. It's heavy percussion. It's all live instrumentation. So it's an incredible music. You guys know go-go and you don't even realize it.
Is it like
you know go-go
jazz
music and
or
you
no?
don't even realize it.
Kind of
I'll
give
tell
me
you
an
what
example.
Go-go is. Doing the butt.
Okay, that beat.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
So it's all that the congos and the
almost back to an island feel in a sense.
It's some back to Africa shit. Like,
Yeah.
straight up. And you go into a go-go in DC, I promise you, you're gonna be like, what is happening? Everybody's just
everybody moving.
Like, what is going on? You just get caught up.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. It's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
that's cool. That's deep.
So that's
so I know coming here was a culture shock for you.
It was a bit much. But
you come here and be
in that, it was like I moved to Mexico. I moved to
Mexico.
But they got good Mexican food. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
you like Mexican food?
I didn't even eat it. I didn't even eat it before I got here.
But you like it now?
I love it.
Love it.
I'm gonna be Mexican in 2 more months.
I love
His last
Mexican
name gonna be
food.
Ramirez.
Quameras.
Cosmic
Quameras.
Quinones. That tastes what Cosmic Qadence is. Cosmic Quinones.
Yes.
I love
the Mexican food is really, really good.
Yeah. And people don't understand it unless they're from like the Southwest. How good it is.
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good.
Top 5. I don't
Top
know.
5?
I just had to say that.
Oh no, he wouldn't have. Do you have any top 5
Favorite
Mexican
Mexican food? Yeah.
Top 5 Mexican foods?
Well, do you have any like a favorite place? You don't have to say
top 5
5.
favorite places. I don't know.
What about foods then, or dishes?
Mexican foods?
Yeah.
No, really. This is probably like really, really interesting. Is that I've had tacos a bunch here, and and like people are just taco crazy. I see it all over my Instagram and all over my Facebook. So I'm thinking that y'all brainwashed me at this point.
No, tacos are the bomb.
See, this is what everybody was saying, but I was just like, it's just a fucking taco. Like I don't
But
get
you get
it.
so many different.
And now,
Yeah.
so I found this place that I like. So if there's a top 5, this place is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's a place called like Chihuahua Seafood on like Indian School.
You sure they ain't saying no little
15th
dogs?
Ave. It might be little dog in the taco. It's just seafood.
Oh, it's just
Yeah,
seafood.
so
Okay.
it's like Marcosas or something.
I
Oh,
think
Mariposa.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're
And
saying.
it's what is it called? Where at again?
It's like Indian School and 15th Ave or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's in
It's
the actual
really good. It's
building, or is
it's
it?
a little blue. Sits right on the thing. All
We
by
probably
itself,
passed it.
You been there before?
Is it by like a my bad again?
It's like a little hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really small. I
So
drove
is it
past
by the
place a
college
million
then?
It's
times.
19th Avenue.
Yeah, 19th Avenue School.
Okay. Okay.
Now you know
Yeah.
I gotta try that.
Look
then.
for them. Telling go.
So they
Listen,
do.
They have fish tacos,
I love fish
and
tacos.
then they have these shrimp tacos.
Mhm.
I have never had tacos so good.
So they're
They
that.
are- they're that good.
Okay.
They're so good.
I've even never.
I'm talking. I've tried tacos everywhere. I was like, I don't get this Taco Tuesday. They're crazy. It's just the opportunity to eat a taco.
And
like,
you ate
whatever.
those, and you were
I ate
like-
those, and I was in there every day, like,
Like Phoenix, like Pookie. Can I get one?
I got one of them fish tacos. They're like, he's
Can I
back.
Can I get one scrimp?
I was like, I'm bringing people. Like, yeah, they're so good. Yeah, they're really good.
Navarre, right? You writing it down, huh?
No. I remember Chihuahuas.
Okay.
She
You can't
thinks she
forget it.
Mexican.
You're gonna see it on the side. You're gonna see it right on the side of the building, blue and white letters.
I'm pretty
It's
sure I've seen it before.
Impossible to. You'll drive by it now. You're like, oh, that place. Because I just drove by it a million times and never.
And
it
then
says like
had it.
Chihuahua seafood on the side of it. That's probably another reason I was like Chihuahua.
Where did they get their seafood from?
I don't know.
Chihuahuas.
They might be.
Stop.
But they probably from Mexico though. Isn't there a place in Mexico called Chihuahua or something?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's probably
I don't
from
know.
Chihuahua,
I
Mexico.
walked in. I met the owner. He was sitting at the bar. He ordered me some. I don't know what he wanted. He ordered me something.
Like a
To
margarita.
try.
Oh,
a
the food.
dish to try. He's like, yeah, you gotta try this.
They probably have good
It was really good.
Ceviche.
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 That's
Oh,
what
we
it
can
I
make
bet you.
ceviche.
Wait, yeah, it was
Yeah,
ceviche. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah. I bet you it's
their
probably
seafood
good
is
there.
really fresh.
Yeah.
It's really good.
We'll have to go
So,
try
We'll
this
have to
ceviche.
go there.
you gotta go. I promise you. Tell them Q.
Shout out to Chihuahuas.
Yeah,
We need a
Q
sponsor.
said
We need a sponsor.
Shout out to Chihuahua. And Jesus. Jesus is the owner.
Okay,
The
Jesus.
owner.
That's easy
What's
to
good,
remember.
Jesus? Yeah.
Okay, Jesus and Chihuahuas.
Jesus.
You're gonna see his picture on our
And
page.
he better sponsor y'all to cut you a sponsorship check.
Okay.
I have ceviche, bought a
I would
gallon.
eat that ceviche up. I would just sit with some
It's really
chips.
good stuff.
And then she said,
Yeah, over getting too excited.
Yes.
Making my head
That's
Eat
sick.
it up.
"That's too merch. That is
Yeah,
too
not
merch."
Too much. Ceviche is good.
I'm weak. All right.
You'll be eating some of it.
Right, exactly. Y'all be fighting over that ceviche.
Let me get a couple spoons of it.
Ow, ow, ow. I just hit my elbow on the chair. That hurt. Oh, this story's filling ever. All right. So I see that you have a degree in computer infrastructure and design technology. So how does that all tie into...
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I designed my own website many years ago. That is like it. Every time the Department of Education calls me up about my loans, I'm like, can you want it back?
Yeah, exactly.
I
I'm
won't
not
even
using
use
it.
I promise I won't even touch a computer. Like you.
I was wondering that too when I read the bio. I was like, I wonder how it ties into what you do
It
now.
doesn't. When I was in college, I remember going in to meet with the guidance counselor, and I was like, so I just want to be able to graduate and make $40K a year. She's like, do computers, and I was like, okay, cool.
But you know what? It might come in. You know how the universe works. It may come in handy later on.
Right.
You never know.
Who knows?
Hey, man.
None of it.
Well, I feel like you could intertwine having
Some
a
of his
degree.
stuff in
Yeah,
there.
It's like,
especially
how does it
design-
work? I spent all day on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
design
you go.
technology.
There you go. And then if it mess up, you slap it and keep on, turn it off and turn it back on.
Slap
Wrap it
it.
up, flip it.
Rub it
Down.
down.
Oh no, it's back on.
Where did that even come from?
Computer.
Did y'all just make that?
Yeah.
I thought it was from some old
It
show.
is. It is.
And then he could keep on doing what he was doing.
Wait, can you say it again?
They said when the
please?
computer
Slap it.
go out, she said slap it, flip it, we go rub it down. Oh
Oh,
no! And then she said turn it back
It's
on.
a song.
It be Belle Biv DeVoe or something.
It's
I
Do Me Baby.
Yeah.
See, she from the.
No, I know a lot of older songs. I just have never heard.
You've
that
never
one.
heard that one?
She just never.
Rub it
she's
down,
never-
oh no.
Yeah.
She
I
hears
need
it,
a
she's
body
like,
bag.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't heard that one.
Okay, well,
I thought y'all was making something up. How y'all be?
Then
making
all
up.
three of us knew
was
it.
in
How
sync.
y'all
We
say?
were
What
all
does
in
it
sync
say?
with
It
Yeah, we
must-
were all in sync. You should have wondered.
He said it must be what?
Deja vu.
No, when you guys say it must be.
Must be catfish.
Fish.
Sure
Sure hope it's catfish.
I forgot what movie that is.
That was from That was from a house party. Sure hope it's catfish.
Sure hope it's catfish. Y'all doing too much for me.
Y'all are a mess. Okay, so back when you lived in DC versus now living in Phoenix, were you a part, or were you a poet? Were you an author when you were back in DC, or did all this like emerge when you came to Phoenix?
Phoenix gave birth to this Qosmic Cadence cat. He did not exist.
Wow.
So what's really funny is that I never touched this. I made a post today on social media. Actually, I had the opportunity to perform last night at the 7th annual Mayor's Arts Awards at Phoenix
I've
Center
seen
for
that.
Arts, and actually got a chance to at the end do a bit of like a call to action to kind of talk about my history with the arts here in Phoenix, my history with the Arts Center, and then I shared in that post some of the stuff that I talked about and got a chance to say on stage for the first time. So I was never a poet back home. I come to Phoenix with already like 400 poems written, or 500 poems, but I had never performed any of them, shared any of them with anybody.
So even public speaking has emerged since you've been here as well.
With that entertainment company, I used to do corporate presentations for them.
Okay.
So I would stand in front of a room and just do these. That's where the voice comes from.
Okay,
all that
gotcha.
stuff. So I would do the presentation about their product,
Okay,
or
gotcha.
their conventions that they were hosting at Disney World. So that part was easy, just to actually stand in front of a room and talk to people. I just memorizing the script, so I'm just basically reading from a script.
Gotcha.
Poetry and performing, singing and poetry, I'll say it's totally different. You
Oh
know?
wait, you singing too?
Yeah.
Can you hit something for us? Hit us a note.
Hit us a note.
And pretend like we at the
Yeah,
Elks
can you say
Lodge.
something for us?
Come on, sing
Hit us a
little
note.
something. You not.
These is the two cat ladies. Of
I know.
No, I ain't no damn cat lady. On my heels, but that's about it.
Just imagine me
My
with my
boots.
leopard coat on. Come on, baby. Baby.
With a leopard headband on.
Come on, baby. Hit that note for me.
Let's see what poem. So I'll do. So I try to fuse my, because I write music too. So I just write. But I try to fuse my.
Sure, you
music
got a wife
into
yet?
My, baby's wife.
All right.
Elks.
Yeah,
That's what it's
exactly.
called.
She said
She like, you want another martini?
You want another?
We take one
If you
more
get
sip.
tired, we got some room for you here. You ain't got to go all the way back home. You
got a long ride home.
You don't have to go home till the morning.
Baby, we get in the morning. No, in the morning.
In the morning.
Okay, no, just joking.
Yeah,
Go
so I
ahead.
try to fuse like the music into the poetry, and anyway, so I can kind of share both. But it was really kind of stretching myself because I never performed anywhere for anybody, you know, prior to like coming here and having the heart to do it, or finding the courage to actually do it. Much of it because I was probably afraid that I would get judged. Like back in DC, I had to be this cool, like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, I ain't.
Yeah, you ain't. Yeah, like
What's wrong?
thugged out. Yeah.
Thugs don't sing. You know what I mean? Like, and all of that. But then coming here, I was like, I don't have to be. I can be whatever I want to be. You know what I mean? So I can kind of let the hair down. So just even in saying that, my family and friends back home, they have never seen me do any of these things. So I'm all on the internet. They're like, who the fuck is this dude?
You just
Who is? I never knew he could
He's a clone.
sing.
They probably
or
think
that he
they
could
cloned
do that.
you.
They didn't clone. They didn't Kanye this dude. He is not the same. So, but yeah, I'll share a piece with you. I'm trying to think of what I could do that's short. So there's a poem that I normally do to open up like sets called "Why Are You Here?" So I'll do that one. It goes, I ain't got no worries. I ain't got no pain. All I've got is happiness and peacefulness to gain. My world is filled with sunshine. My world is filled with glee. My world is filled with grace and endless possibilities. See, I ain't got no heartbreak. I ain't got no shame. All I've got is lessons learned, appended to my name.
Ooh.
My life is filled with purpose. My life ain't mine to keep. I almost lose it every time I live it selfishly. See, I ain't got no worries. I ain't got no pain. All I've got is happiness and peacefulness to gain. In the honor of my name.
Ooh,
But why are you here? Do you think you were born to work a 9 to 5? To consume all this world's resources? Pay bills, collect bullshit, and die? That's a motherfucking lie. Our purpose is cultivation of life through extraordinary strides. And unless the way is paved for future generations, how the fuck are they supposed to survive? You see, we owe them our lives. And I ask why? Why are you here?
That's good.
That's awesome.
I hear a little Al Green going.
Wait, aren't we supposed to go?
You supposed to
Yeah.
stand.
Okay.
You know we ain't been.
Bring your eyes for it out.
Can't take us nowhere. That was really
so
good.
dope.
Yeah. Wow.
I like that.
So you open all your
I
stuff
typically
up
would try to open, like if I do an extended set, I like to open with that poem, just kind of like ground the room and bring people into like the energy that I'm about to do.
That is
I don't
awesome.
want to sound like any other poet out here. I don't care to do the moon, stars, quasars, like
That's what I was
Yeah.
waiting for. Yeah.
shit. Yeah, I don't. I'm no offense to anybody who does that. I don't.
You know, it kind of
So is
sounds
this
like Anthony Hamilton when he was singing.
But I thought of Al Green too for some reason. I
For
don't
some
know why.
reason, you put me in the mind of Stevie Wonder when you were singing up.
Stevie's like one of my biggest
Stevie,
music
really?
influences. So
Yeah, I
I tune
can
my
see
voice
that
a lot
too.
to Stevie.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that to me, like, you should do Stevie Wonder songs. I'm like, Stevie's my dude.
Okay, that was
so-
real dope.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been to one of those things before ever in my life. That's crazy.
We almost made it one Wednesday.
Yeah, and she didn't feel good.
Drive on down Grand Avenue.
Y'all were gonna go?
We were
Yeah.
gonna go, but it was her.
I had to work the next day.
That is dope.
I don't have to
Okay.
make it.
Yeah.
See?
I gotta hussy
Yeah,
up and
can
put
you-
my leather, put my leather cap suit on
With her leather coat.
with my remote control shoes. She like, she be going up and down, up and down. She be like, I don't know that. lady.
Hey, that's a good
She
way
was
to
some
book.
lady in a leopard. That's a lady in a leopard outfit at the front door. Like, oh, don't let her in.
Don't let her in. Is she limping?
Somebody get her. Is she limping?
Don't let her in.
Is she limping? Don't let her in. She got one.
God.
She like she broke a heel. You know, she did. Her shoes came like the remote broke.
I'm weak. No, we have to go now for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really dope experience. Poetic Soul on Wednesday nights in Phoenix.
It gets
Crazy.
crowded though, don't it? Real fast.
Yeah, we had 200 this past Wednesday.
I
200
seen
people from
that
the community
post,
came out. It was
wow.
pretty dope. We've put as many as 280 people in the room this year.
Where
So
is
it's
it
great.
locaed?
We're at Paz Cantina now.
Okay.
Third
Is
Street
that a
in
restaurant
Roosevelt.
or?
Yeah, it's a newly rebuilt restaurant that was kind of there before. They leveled it, built this really huge apartment building over top of it, and brought it back underneath.
So it's in that art district.
Yeah, it's
Almost.
an arts district.
Okay.
Which
We
was
did
fun.
Sharice Love last week, and I think
Oh,
she's come
Sharice
out.
is so dope.
Yeah,
Oh,
God,
we
she's
love
freaking
her.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She was good. It was good.
Yeah, so
pretty cool.
Sharice is a contact that I had from like many years ago when I first started performing poetry and stuff like that out here. So I met her back then, and then she went away from music for a while. She's really cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
ooh.
sang for us too.
Yeah.
She's dope.
She did.
She's
She killed
so
it. I was
dope.
like, wow.
Yeah, she's so dope.
I
So
like
I
her
love
energy.
meeting people like her who, because I always feel like there were artists like Sharice and like Morris Allen and some of the others that I was introduced to in the very beginning when I was performing it. I was like, yo. And because my background was in entertainment, I was like, yo, these people need huge stages and platforms to perform on. There should be more people in the room enjoying
see
what
them.
they do. And I was like, why don't the people from Arizona show? I don't understand
Yeah.
that. And then I started to go to more events. And I
No, but
realized
you're starting to bring that though.
I realized that the thing that was missing from it wasn't the performers. The performers here are stellar. They're incredible. The thing that was missing is a bit of professionalism with how the shows are presented.
Yeah.
And, if
And so you tweak
add
that.
a bit of professionalism, host the thing properly,
Yes.
start it on time, add some things that are attractive to people, include the people who show up. You know, so they're just not just sitting there being talked to all night. Do sing-alongs at Poetic Soul to get everybody involved. Some of these songs that we've hinted towards, like Baby Baby and some of the others, were just having a good time. They're fun to sing. We sing them. The rap-alongs with rap songs.
So that's cool. So you bring the crowd.
I bring the crowd into the show, so you're a part of it. You're all, whether you touch the stage or not as a performer, you still get a chance to sing with us throughout the night. So
you're probably getting a lot of people that are doing this every week. That's returning customers.
Yeah, quite a few.
Quite
a few.
Do you have a VIP area? A VIP?
You know, what's her name?
I'm serious, you do?
Gemini. What's her name? Kara. What is Kara's last name?
Kyra,
yeah.
Woods.
Yeah, we know her as well. Yeah. Oh, okay.
She comes often to perform.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Yo, just rope off an area and I'll be there next week.
Get a rope.
I'll buy you a rope.
They're gonna come with the rope. Where my area?
My VIP.
Q said it was an area for me. Here's my rope.
You gonna put it right next to the stage.
I'm gonna be right by wherever Q at.
You know what's really interesting about? Said like we as we laugh about like roping things off and VIP and things. No, it's so serious. Like this is what I've realized. Like all of that creates such an ego for people.
Oh, what?
Opposed to like, am I on the list? And then stuff like that. And it's like it creates such a Hollywood ego for people. And everybody wants to be on the list.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, do you understand that ticket sales help to pay for the event?
No, I want to pay.
No, I'm just saying, but to be on the list. Do you know this band don't play for free?
Yeah. Oh, you mean like they just want to be on the list?
They just want to get in for free. They want to be on some, and it's like, then it's like, I need my own special section. How do we run a table in here? It's like, it ain't nothing. Everybody is equal when you walk through this door.
But see, you know what that's telling you? That you're getting your levels, your levels.
I'm like, ain't nobody's treated different. Everybody, you get here early, you get yourself a seat. You get here late,
your VIP is depending on what time you get there.
There you go.
I'm gonna have my rope and I'm gonna get there at 5:30.
So you come in here, you block off 10 seats because you got 10 homies coming.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring my
10
chicken.
seats over there. Like, why she blocked off 10? Yeah, so pause us on food.
Because I was gonna bring some chicken.
I got her some chicken, baby.
Get her. She got crab legs in her purse.
She got it all in the coat.
Okay, Lenny. Lenny. Except for the son to be selling stuff. My Moet.
Oh, she got it in the
my
boots.
two lobster tails in your boots. My boots. I'm just boiled. Oh my God, my crab boil. Okay, I'm done.
Crab boil. I can't do.
And some Ritz crab.
We're not supposed to be laughing on this half.
Oh my God. All right, so I know you kind of touched on this a little bit based off of what you were just saying, but what birthed Poetic Soul?
Interestingly enough, so again, I had this penchant for like just creating platforms. So to kind of go back, when I was working for that entertainment company that moved me here, they hosted a performing arts competition 3 times per year at Disney World. And we would fly into a different city every week to put on these auditions. So 7 different cities by the company. We'd go out on Saturdays and we put on these auditions, and kids would come in 6 through 17 and went to act, model, sing, dance. So I was used to, kind of dealing with talented people and seeing talent in people and being like, yo, you're amazing. So when I got here to Phoenix, I was like, well, I don't want to work for this company anymore. I was burned out. I was like, I just need to do something different. So I started going to the open mics and all of that stuff. And I was like, yo, these like some really talented people here. How can I use what I've learned working with that company to create platforms for other people, for adults? You know what I mean? So all these adults holding on to gifts, instead of anything like me, I've held on to all of that I just did. I told you I would never do that growing up. I knew I could do it, but I just would never do that for people. So I was like, there's got to be other people like me, and then there's some that are living out loud. How can I create a platform for them? So went around to a bunch of open mics, tried, this open mics, looked around at what they were doing, didn't like it. Didn't think that many of them were being run professionally, or there was any care or consideration put into the experience. The people weren't considered at all. And so I tried to partner up with like a couple people who were already doing events here. They basically all told me go fuck myself because they had already built the following, and everybody wants to be the man. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. I'll just go build something on my own. And then so I kind of had going around to all these open mics, and just being me. I had a bunch of artists who also endeared themselves to me. a genuine dude. He's good cat, whatever. And so I just finally decided to start hosting my own events. I was doing like different kinds of events, different kinds of open mics, kind of flavors of open mics. Like I did this wine tasting open mic in Scottsdale. We draw like 70, 80 people. It was pretty dope.
That's dope for the first
really
time.
Dope. Yeah, it was really dope.
That's
it was a really dope setup. Found a little wine bar in Scottsdale. It was dope. And then I did a few other events. I did this event called Friday Night Lights, which is more of a talent showcase back in 2014, 2015 or so. And that was just to put those incredible artists that I mentioned like on stage all at one time to just go at it for 20 minutes, called like a mini concert. And that was kind of up and down in terms of the turnout. And so that went away. I was like, it's not quite that, but there's got to be a way to draw a crowd out consistently. And then a situation presented itself where a bar offered me the space to just come in and create. They were like, yo, we remember when you used to come to this open mic. We want to do like a poetry night here on Wednesdays. You know, would you be interested in, coming to host it? We can't think of a better host. And I was like, nah, I just helped another event producer get a spot and help them get a venue in Scottsdale on Wednesdays. And I was like, I don't want to be competition for that guy. And then I was like, fuck him.
I'm about to do it.
I'm just going to do it. So that was literally the birth of Poetic Soul, April 20th, 2016. And we've done it every single Wednesday since 2016.
So for 2 years.
No,
And you've just seen it grow. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
And you've just seen it grow and grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, we had 120 people show up to the very first event. So that's when I knew we were just, I was like, this is special, so there's something here, that I've tapped into, so I knew it. And then, it continued to grow. It's continued to kind of fluctuated in terms of turnout, from there. 120 people, 90 people the next week, 70 people. And
it could be based on our weather, if people are here, if they're not here.
It was a brand new event. Yeah, it was a brand new event then. Since then, we have an average of, over the last month, I think we've tapered off a bit because I've bounced around to a few different venues after being stuck at Club Downtown for 2 years. But in that space of Club Downtown, we worked for 2 years. We had an average of 225 people a week.
Damn.
That's awesome.
That's a really dope.
Now, my question is, some of the people you said that pretty much said F you in so many words, have they circled back around trying to want to work with you or do anything with you?
A lot of them. Or a lot of them don't come out to my event. And I still go to theirs. It's really dope. I just go to theirs just to be a vibration.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm an asshole in that sense. Like, I'm going to talk shit about you. I'm just show up to your event.
When's your birthday?
February 3rd. I'm an Aquarius.
Just sit there.
Yeah. No, I just walk in and I'm screaming and hollering for all the artists that I know that are my friends.
Oh, okay.
And you know what I mean? Raising the vibration in the room. So that just pisses them off even more.
No, but
that
you're
pisses them off
supporting them.
much.
You're supporting.
Exactly. I mean, that pisses the event producer off much more than me not coming in. Because I walk into their rooms and even though I'm like, I shun celebrities. So I'm saying, fuck that ego VIP shit. I'm Poetic Soul. But I walk into the room and all of their people love me and they hate it.
And you love it, huh?
I'm just like sucking it up. Shut up. But yeah, there's enough space for all of us out here. I feel like there's no such thing as competition, and as long as you have that mindset for competition, you're always going to lose. Last time that I checked, there were 6.7 million people in the entire state of Arizona. There's probably so many more than that. That was like a couple years ago I did that research. So it's over 7 million people here now.
There's room for everybody.
And so there's room for everybody. I only put 200 people in the room last week. 6.7 million or 7 million versus 200. That's like there's a huge disparity there in terms of numbers. So there's no such thing as competition. You know what I mean? So if you build it, you build something nice, people will come out to it. I think that a lot of event producers spend time worrying about how much money they're going to make off the door as opposed to putting together a quality production that will get people to come.
To continually come.
Anyway,
it's going to come.
If you give them quality. You know,
so how does it work? Sharice kind of told us a little bit about it, but kind of how does it work as far as like, I can't sing, dance, do none of that stuff. But like, how does it work if I came to your event and I did want to perform?
Yeah, so it's an open mic. I just don't. I don't advertise it and promote it as like it's an open mic. I don't use the word open mic at all in any of my marketing and advertising because open mics suck. Historically, just everywhere you go, open mics are trash. They're run really weird.
So you don't use that
word at all?
I don't use
the word. It's a dirty word. It's like support to me. I don't use the word. But if an artist wants to perform, they show up. Doors open at 7, and the performances goes out at 7 o'clock when doors open. And there's only 20 to 25 slots on the list, depending on if we have a feature or not. If we don't have a featured artist, we'll just let 25 people first come, first perform, sign up. If we have a featured
there's no
artist,
audition or anything?
It's an open mic. So literally,
so if they come with no talent, have you had that where people get up there?
I'm not here to judge anybody's talent, but what happens is the nature of that event with a live band backing us and the whole show element, people walk into that building for the first time. Some of them just like want to get on stage, and then they sit there and they watch the show for a while, and they realize that like that's not
This
the
is not
stage
for
to
them.
play around on. You know, this is not the environment to get up there bullshit.
Okay.
So they won't do it. You know?
Gotcha. So they kind of know.
Yeah, they know.
Okay,
they
gotcha.
know. So some people call names and they're like, I'm like, not here, or chickened out, and it's cool. You
That's
know,
dope.
I've also had seasoned singers from across the valley come in, and I'm like, yo, you gonna sing tonight? And they're like, no, like I gotta rehearse before I get on this stage. I mean, this is serious. And I'm like,
Because
okay,
they're
cool.
expect people,
Respect.
your crowd, the
Yeah.
audience is expecting them to do.
So I appreciate that Poetic Soul is kind of a standard for good quality talent. You know, people
Gotcha.
coming through the building, they do that on their own. I'm not like, you don't get up here and sing unless you can sing.
Sing, anime. Sing.
People just come in and again, I never know who's going to perform, and that's the best thing about the experience is that every single week some 20 plus performers get on stage, and we've never had like a man, the performers suck tonight ever.
So
in
they
history.
come knowing
they
they're
bring
gonna
it,
They're
they
ready.
bring it, and it's so dope.
So what made you expand it to Los Angeles?
Being a visionary, you know, and just realizing that what we've created is a vibration that it doesn't necessarily is not necessarily confined
To
to
a
like
state,
Arizona.
yeah.
We can create this vibration anywhere. So a part of that also was the same thing. Like I created Poetic Soul so that it would be a platform for artists. So that was still a part of the artist, you know, expansion for me was to say, yo, I have dope, really, really dope friends who are artists here in Arizona that now I've had a chance to share stages with more often than not because we get on stage every week now in front of a nice crowd. I'm like, if I can get these people on a stage in LA or on a stage in anywhere else, like it'll be really dope for them, dope for their social media.
Gotcha.
We can build relationships with other artists in those markets, and then we can bring some of those artists down here, vice versa. So, you know, now we have this cohesive kind of a network, you know, working. So I have like sites set on a whole bunch of other cities for expansion.
That is
And
awesome.
we'll see how it goes.
So you work with someone else in LA, or are you actually doing this traveling
Yeah,
back and
it
forth?
was me traveling. Yeah, I'm crazy.
So what day is it in LA?
Every Thursday since December we've been doing.
So
Poetic
you're
Soul
here
LA.
on Wednesday and they're on
You
Thursday?
fly out there?
Thursday. No, I'll drive up just 5 hours.
Oh my goodness! And you have a venue. You have the same concept you have in here.
Same concept.
In Phoenix,
Live
you have
band.
in LA. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is good. That's cool.
Crazy.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm speechless.
I'm very speechless.
Right.
And how's LA doing?
LA's a build. The last show we had 170.
That's
people.
not bad.
It was a long time, you know, coming to get to that, but that came from a partnership with artists who flew in from out of town. That's like a huge draw. And so at that point, I was like, you know what, I need to take. I kind of saw something, so I postponed the Poetic Soul LA experience until the new year. Kind of combination thing that kind of helped me do that was it's the holiday season coming up, so
So you can do that.
business is going to ramp up for that venue. I'm like, ooh, go make your money. Good. Because I want to take some time to solidify a partnership with that guy in that city and then meet more of his people who are willing to come
And then
out
grant-
and
and then
bring
start
them back
again.
into
That is
space.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's all totally crazy
So
stuff.
is this your full-time job then?
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
It
I
has
walked
to
away
be.
from there.
If you're
Yeah.
on Wednesday night, you're leaving here, and then you're
Yeah.
just getting up and
Yeah.
So you
driving
get up
to
Thursday
LA.
morning, drive out there, and then come back
Yeah.
Friday morning?
No, I come back the same night. So right after the
What
event, I would
in
drive
the-
back. Yeah, it's cool.
shit.
I'm like normally when I leave these events, say for instance on Wednesday night, I have to force myself to go to sleep on Wednesday night because I'm like, yo, you got to drive to LA tomorrow,
Yeah.
so you have to go to bed. But typically, I leave these spaces out there. These artists have shared their magic, and we've just been in this space like
And you're
that.
amped up.
And I'm so amped up. I could stay up for like 2-3 days. I'm
Yeah.
just like so wired. So that's how it is in LA too. I'm like, yo, we just did a show in LA, and it's like, so I just drive while I'm super high.
But you can do your master thinking too.
And that's my favorite part.
is when you get that in.
It's getting that opportunity to drive home for me. The open road, it's dark. I stop sometimes, look at the stars because the sky's so clear, but it's just that thinking. I have the space to replay what has just happened and then to see more of the vision. I'm like, yo, this is dope. Okay, cool. But God, what else do you have for me?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Because the vision is never shared with us all at one time. We only get fragments of the vision. So it's like, cool. What I saw originally, I've seen it dance in reality. Like, what's next? So I use that time on the road to just really see what's happening. So
sometimes I wish you could, when you say what's next, he can show you right, but he never shows you right.
I be wanting to know all the time, and I know
he kind of, like you said, it's just like he gives you.
No, I want to know, but I have to bring it back and say you'll see it.
My thing is like, let me enjoy what's happening, like just to really kind of take that step back humbly to say, yo, I saw this, and it's right here. Like, look at these people in the room. So most of the time, people stop me like, "You look what you did," and I'm like, "I'm not here for that.
Yeah, right,
I didn't do anything. Like, if you saw what I saw,
it's just in front
like
of you
now,
now.
bro. Like you would know better.
Yeah,
this is not a thing for me to be like, yo, look at all these people. I got them. Like, no, God keeps showing me a vision. I'm just working in accordance to the vision.
Yeah.
And
like,
you
I
moving.
see, like you. This festival, like you guys watch when 10,000, 20,000 people show up. Like you think this?
We don't have that here
like,
either.
This is
well, we used to have a jazz fest, but we don't. Yeah, we don't have that here.
Soon, I promise you.
Just rope.
Let us know, because I want to do that. Rope off my section.
I'll definitely rope. I'll definitely rope you a section at the festival. That's that. Get that on tape as a sound.
Yeah, he gonna rope us off a section. We'll pay our way in, but rope us a section.
You got it. It's gonna be the cat suit section.
Okay, I have.
So
Okay, I'll get my sit ups in and get my cat suit ready.
It's gonna be some cat.
No, I'm gonna be cat. I'll be cat suit ready. I'll get my little sit ups in there. I'll be cat suit ready.
Okay, we got to get back on track because damn, you're dope. You're dope. You are pretty.
All right, so before we end off for the night, can you tell us a little bit about your 7 published books and how you even got to?
Yeah, it's a 7. So so that was crazy, right? So I think I published my first book, my first 2 books. I was set to publish a book of poetry December 16, 2014, and or 2013. Holy shit. And I was like, so I got this book of poetry. I've been writing poems for a couple years. And I was like, I'm just going to release a book of poetry. I'd only been sharing poems on the internet for like 2 months. Had a friend who's now a friend following me. She's read a couple of my poems online. Like after the 3rd, 4th poem, she's like, so when's your book coming out? And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to build up a following first. That's what I'm doing. I had like 200 followers on Instagram. Let me as soon as I build up a following, I'll do it. She said, stop making excuses.
Yeah.
She's like, do it.
Accountability.
Yeah, she's like, do it now. I was like, dang, what the? Can't talk to me
200
like that.
followers.
I got 200 followers. You're like, let me stop popping first. She's like, do it now. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, cool. So started to work on publishing this book, and then the night I'm just like waiting. People are like, I can't wait for your book to drop out. I'm like waiting. I got like an hour left. I'm just ready to hit the button and make it active. And then I started thinking, like I've also been posting these motivational, inspirational quotes on the internet, like in addition to the poetry. I was like, I'm just gonna basically alienate those people. They get nothing. But the people like the poetry get a poetry book. I was like, I can't do that. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I have to produce some kind of a product for them. First thing in the morning when they wake up too. And I was like, but I haven't advertised. I was like, shh. And I was like, okay, for 5 years I've been on my Facebook posting these motivational messages every morning. I literally sat and went through 5 years of posts overnight, cut and pasted those into a document, uploaded those to Amazon, created a book cover. I had 2 books by morning,
look at
ready
you.
to let go. So it was crazy.
That's
so
awesome.
I published my first 2 books December 16th, April 2013. And then a couple months later, like around Valentine's Day, I was like, well, I got to have something for Valentine's Day.
For the lovers.
I was like, oh, man. So I was like, let me work on, the cat suit wears. It's like, man, Valentine's Day's for cat suits. I gotta make sure somebody peeling somebody out of a cat suit properly. So I created this book called Love versus the World. It was a book full of just love letters. I'm sorry, love letters. So Love versus the World was the first book of poetry, and the second book that I released the same day was called the Book of Qos, which is a play on the Qosmic Qadence. And so that was just full of inspirational, motivational quotes. The one for Valentine's Day was called Love Letters. It was just literally a series of just love poetry, just love letters written to somebody. And then I was like, well, I can't release one book because I haven't been releasing just one book by itself. And I have to stay consistent.
I gotta do multiple.
So then I was like, all right, cool, I'll release another book. And I ended up releasing Love Letters and this book called Y'all Got the Game Fucked Up.
That's the one I want to get. I want to get that.
It's a relationship.
She over here ordering stuff.
No, not yet, but that's the one.
What is that about?
So it's a relationship. It's Y'all Got the Game Fucked Up, Relationship 101.
Okay.
And it's a relationship book that basically goes through like a few
Is
principles.
it geared toward women, men, or both?
Both people in a
Both,
relationship,
okay,
people
gotcha.
outside of a relationship. My common belief is that people do not prepare for relationships before we get into them. We just get into a relationship and then fuck people up.
Yeah.
You know, like with our bullshit. There's like all these weird expectations for people that we don't have for ourselves. Like, like
You
your
be like
abs
a
gotta be
newborn
flat.
baby.
Like you're like, but your abs ain't. Like, you ain't like, what are you bringing into the space? You know?
We gonna both bring our guts to the table.
We know what we want the other person to bring
have,
to the
but
table.
what are you
but what
bringing?
do you bring? So I don't think that
Gotcha.
people are really like keeping
That's
it real
true.
with themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
So I was like, I'm just gonna write. So I wrote this book. Let that go too, and then some months later, I do the same thing. I repeat the same process. Got a book of poetry. Well, I'm gonna need another book too. So I was like,
So you're doing always like multiple.
I was doing
at the
two
same
at a time.
Okay, gotcha.
And then when I got to that point, I was like, I have to stop. I have to pause. And so I ended up probably in like the first 6 months of the year. So that December 2013, by June 2014, I had 6 books published. And I was like, yo, I can't every 3 months publish books. Like at this clip, I'm gonna have 100 books published.
Yeah.
And I still have the material at home. I still have 300-400 poems that, and God knows.
So
how
you
many
still
in
can
my
get
phone
up. Yeah.
that I haven't even shared with people. So I'm just holding on to art at this point. Like it's not enough time to like share all of it. But I'm like, I can't keep producing books that way because they haven't even digested the stuff.
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. It can
No.
be overkill, so you just
Right.
got to give
So
them
I just
time
have to
to
hold fast and
digest
I'll wait
it.
until that. I'll just release some anthology of like hundreds of poems at a time, just like whatever, it doesn't matter. So then it probably took about another year, maybe year and a half before I released the 7th book, which is Blushing Grace. It's a book of maybe 140 poems that I just shared on the internet already. And I was like, well, they're just floating around on the internet. People are reposting them, so I might as well put them into a book so those lovers of those reposts can just have it in a book.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I got up to 7.
Before you try to close, I just have a question. Like,
No.
how? Just one. It's
I'm just
real
joking.
simple 'cause I like writing and all that. How long does it take you to like think of it in your mind before you put it on paper, or is it like you'll see something one day and maybe 2 weeks later something another day and then you compile it together?
it
Like,
just
what is your
depends.
process?
So my process is a little bit different for writing. Like I'm not that. I'm gonna write about cat suits. Like I'm not that.
I'm
kind
done
of
with you. I'm
poet.
gonna slap the shit.
Yeah, write one about cat suits.
Cat suits.
I'm not that kind of a poet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm like the poems write themselves through me. I don't focus on like trying to write something.
It
If
just
it
comes
flows,
to you?
It flows, yeah. And if it comes out, it comes out. So I have a poem called Allegiance Plagued that wrote itself through me in like a couple minutes. And the poem is like 6 minutes long. You know what I mean? Like to perform.
So you
I
stop what
literally
you're
just
doing.
said-
You stop
I
what you're
couldn't-
doing,
I was
and you
working,
doing something
in
else.
the house, and it was like, and I just these lines just kept coming to me. And I was like, and I try to block it out sometimes, like, nah, I'm not right now. Like, come back later.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to write right now. And it's like they just kept stalking me, like, all right, like write this down. I'm like, fuck. I
And
just,
you
like,
stop what you're doing, and
I
it just
start
flows
typing,
through
and
you.
an entire poem, like just writes
wow.
itself through me.
That is freaking
So I don't
crazy.
sit and try to structure like the line.
And those are the
and
people
this
that are
one
like,
around.
yeah, those
Yeah.
people that say they have a talent but really don't have a talent.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
just-
it's just,
Yeah, I don't have that talent.
It's just the feeling.
My talents are other.
that is awesome. No, I can understand where he's coming from because that means that is really your God-given talent.
Yeah, it's not me. It's somebody else. It's the energies that I'm tapping into, whatever level of vibration I'm on. The ancestors or the energies are just
Yeah.
like somebody's channeling through me to say,
I
"Good,
told
welcome to this level.
Yeah.
Say this. I forgot to say this while I was there. You should say this." And I'm
I
just
told
like,
you
right there.
versus
So
people
nobody
trying-
didn't tell you to say nothing today while you've been at this podcast? Nothing right now?
No, nobody's harassing me.
No, the cats.
Where the cat suits? Put the cat suit on now. Wait. I'm channeling.
No, but that's how. The reason I asked you that question is because I always talk to my sister about people where they try to make a talent up that's not really their talent. Like, oh, if you're sitting there and you're just like you said, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then you just kind
You're
of
trying to beat yourself up with the lines.
That
you
is
shouldn't
not-
be right.
Yeah, see, I'm not a
Remember I
writer.
was telling you about
perform
that.
my poetry.
right now.
Nah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Now you can get ready to close. I
No,
needed to
yeah,
ask that.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah, my
can
process.
anyone perform at your show?
Anybody, bro. Poet, rapper, singer, comedian, storyteller,
Podcasters.
professional.
Pot?
People want to come up and rant, want to tell a story about what happened at your job today, whatever. It doesn't matter. The space is open for people to just express themselves.
Okay.
And it's really dope.
dope.
Yeah, it's really
I love
dope
it.
for that reason. I think
I
that's what
wanna-
makes it organic.
I want to see y'all
Let's
up
do
there.
it.
Why? I'm
I
not.
like to write, and like you said, literally things come to me, and I just write it down, like right away, just write it down. So that's why I was asking that question, because I just believe that I have a talent as well. I just don't tap into it as
Yeah,
much as I
just don't
should
use
be.
it.
Yeah, as much as I should.
See, mine is more ideas opposed to poetry.
You said what?
Mine is more of like ideas and
Oh.
creative things opposed to poetry and writing, and I like numbers.
Poetry is like, I like it because it's just like, it's a feeling. Like
Yeah,
you said, it flows.
it's
And like
about-
you trying to match stuff, it just, you like, how did I write this?
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
it just
comes
goes.
to you.
Like to that point,
Yeah.
so that like, how did I write this?
Yeah.
That part, right? I would have poems write themselves through me, and then at the end, I would read them like, yo, that's the best poem I ever wrote, and I
Wow.
felt like that after every poem. So it was almost like that I knew it wasn't me. I've sat down and tried to I have so many notes I can go through my phone where I'm just trying to write stuff down,
and it doesn't come
so
together.
I always abandon those because
Yeah.
it's me trying to be clever, trying to, and it's like that's not.
Oh,
that's not
yeah.
the same.
Because
So I
you're
just
forcing
abandon
it.
them. I let them go. I'm like, that's.
And
not,
I believe that's
not.
why
But I save
some
the
rappers
note,
are
but
better
it's
than
like,
others.
Yeah.
That's why
That stuff
some
just
rappers
comes
are
out.
better than
Yeah,
others.
you're right. No, what you just, I'm sorry, I'm chiming in. What you said, as far as growing up, poetry. You know, I play sports. Like, you write poetry. Like, I always wrote poetry. I've always been goofy and stuff. But when you go through stuff in life, like you said, just writing, it just flows.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you write and stuff, you like, it just matches. You don't do it. You like, and people like, my uncle and them like, how did you do this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
It just,
know.
I was
It
feeling
wrote
it.
it.
We're going to
Yeah,
have
I
him
was-
on the stage
I
over
was in
there.
a mode and it just
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
And I never forget, like, you just going off that because you tapped in. I heard you. It's just, I was, when I was in college, I was just in a room. I got a book full of poetry. My girl the only one that heard it. But it's because I'm not I never tapped, like you said, I played sports all my life and was a whole nother genre than people thought, so I never expressed that side.
Well, we need to pull
We
that
never
out.
knew that either.
Yeah, you know what? This is the first time I'm hearing about that. You need to pull that out.
But what he said, I always did poetry. Like I had a poem, it's called Negroes versus Egos. It's just like what we go through is like he said, the ego of Negroes. It's just, it's crazy, but but it's a bunch.
Oh,
of
we
stuff.
didn't even know that.
Joshy Washi gonna be up there on Wednesday. No,
And that's dope too because this is what happens. People come into Poetic Soul and they sit there. And they're just there, and they love the show, and they're like, "Oh my God, I had such a great time! Thank you for creating space. This has been amazing." And then I'm up there like, "So your next performer comes to the microphone. Help me welcome Josh." And then it's Josh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the fuck?" He sat here for a whole month, 2 months, 6 months, never.
But they had to build up the courage.
And then he comes up and smashes it, and everybody's like. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you didn't
really.
tell me.
You've been holding on to that all this time. So I really appreciate like that we have an environment where that happens. It's encouraging for people to just come in and let go. And you're in a safe space, so it's not like I don't have to say it like, hey, you're totally in a safe space tonight. If you feel like getting up here sharing, just come and share. We don't do that.
You don't
People
do
just
any of
walk
that.
in and they feel it. They're like, yo.
Oh,
it's a
we
really
definitely
positive
have to go.
environment.
Yeah.
People like each other.
Yeah, we gotta all go.
Gotta mob up and come on down.
Yeah.
Don't forget about my rope.
She gonna have the rope.
Yeah, okay, now you can close out.
Rope it off. We on our way.
We gonna
Doing too merch.
we gonna rope it off for the night. So before we end off, do you have any shout outs that you want to give? And then on top of that, do you want to go ahead and let the listeners know where they can find you on social media?
Sure. Shout out to all of the folks who support my crazy. There's a whole bunch of you, namely my kids, Ryan and Thomas. Thank you guys so much. And you can find me on social media under Qosmic with a Q. So it's QOSMIC on Instagram _QADENCE. So QOSMIC _QADENCE. I'm under the same on Facebook, Qosmic with a Q. Poetic Soul Event on Instagram, Poetic Soul Event, all together one word. We have a flavor of that event that we host also on Saturdays now called Poetic Soul Sessions, which is more of an open mic, open jam session. So artists and musicians just share the stage all at one time. There's no list. Band plays something, the musicians create a vibe, and the artists just jump up there and just spit, rap, sing, whatever they decide to do, over there, tell a story, whatever. Yeah, so every Wednesday night, Poetic Soul in Phoenix. It's the vibration. You gotta come out. Come get this magic out.
Right. Take some of that magic.
Yeah. We gonna definitely have to go.
She gonna make sure we go, because she gonna be
this
on
time.
me.
Ain't no stomach ache. Ain't no stomach ache this time.
I'm gonna just go by myself.
I'm gonna just have as long as I got my boots.
Your loose boots on.
I do
Loose boot.
Oh, man.
And remote boot.
All right. Thank you once again for coming out and
thank y'all for
sharing your
having me.
knowledge with us.
This was
I
dope.
appreciate
This
it.
is so dope.
Yeah.
I like this.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
I think
too.
we all did.
A lot. I'm not gonna say nothing crazy. They always looking at me because they think I'm gonna say
They was
something
waiting.
crazy.
They was waiting.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I think we all enjoy. They look right at you.
We all looking at you to say something crazy.
I'm not going to though.
Resident crazy something. Say something.
Right. Exactly.
It's Kimmy, we out.
It's T to the E.
It's your girl, Nikkei.
Qosmic Qadence.
And we out.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
So why are y'all frontin'? Got 3 jobs, so you know your girl be hustling. I really just like nice stuff, so I'm not frontin' for nobody. Like y'all weak ass little thotties. Gotta call your sugar daddy just to buy an entree. But please don't get it twisted. Come try me and you might get your wig lifted. My daddy taught me well, so I don't with the snitches. Nah. Just know I'm bougie, and you gotta what? Deal with it. Bougie gang, bougie gang, bougie gang, bougie gang, bougie gang, bougie gang, bougie gang. Got 2 necklaces from Tiffany's. My ice 10 times, your nose ring. You better back off before you get got. I'ma knock you with my rose gold wristwatch. Y'all think this is a game, but I'm spinning facts. My middle name bougie, so